Hey, Rich.
Hey, Michael.
And welcome, everybody, to BitPunch Radio, episode 034. Rich, I feel very unprepared to record this podcast. We normally have a bunch of news to talk about, and I've honestly just have played a ton of video games. I think you have too. So
Yeah,
I think tonight we're just gonna I think we're just gonna be talking about a bunch of video games. Um, I do have a couple TV shows and stuff I want to maybe touch on. Looks like you've got one here too, but man, I've done some video game stuff, a lot of video game stuff actually.
okay.
But before I get into that, tonight, for dinner, we were just sitting around and my wife and I just did not have anything planned. Like we both worked until 5 o'clock. Was just a complete afterthought. So I was just like, okay, well, I've been driving, so I went and picked
Really?
up
Okay.
dinner. Yes.
Damn.
The kids got their shitty McDonald's, and I
Okay.
went to Jimmy John's,
Ooh,
which is
okay. So
just
this is a big deal. You got the kids' food from somewhere else,
uh-huh.
when you got your own trash from
Two
somewhere
stops.
else.
Yep.
That's a big commitment to
Yeah,
make as a
everybody
family.
loves Jimmy John's, So it's
Yeah.
America's food. Everyone hates
Yep.
Jimmy John's, I know, but it was just convenient because it was right there. And so my wife does the mobile order, and so I pull up, and the guy in front of me, he gets his food and he pulls away, and that peckerhead threw his trash out the window.
Oh no.
And I was so offended. It blew my mind. Like, how are we as a society still okay with just throwing our freaking trash out of our pickup truck window? It surprised me. It really surprised me. Like being a recluse that I've been since the pandemic has started,
Yeah.
I don't get out. Like it's very rare. Like I've made the
Yeah.
joke where the trash cans sit out, for days on the side of the curb because I just don't leave the house. But to then just see that, it's just like, man, people fucking suck, and they still do, It's just such a
Dude,
bummer to see that.
dude, yeah, man. As someone who has been out a decent amount, even, after I don't know what we're like, I don't know, like over a year removed from the shutdown or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, people are worse
Yeah.
than they were before. Somehow, some way, they found a way.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
maybe at
yeah,
some point, I remember my wife was having a conversation with me, and she was just like, I wonder if our kids will understand what cigarettes are. Because me growing up, it was pretty common. And I
yeah.
think I was kind of ambitious of her, but I'm wondering if my kids' kids or their kids will what will cigarettes be like in that day and age. And now it's like littering.
Electronic.
Right. Well, yeah, it's already that. There's a
Yeah,
really good tweet. But anyway, it just surprised me. Like, how are we now as a species still okay with throwing our fucking trash out the window? It just it shocked. I was literally like, oh, like it just shocked me. I couldn't
yeah,
believe it. But
yeah. Yeah. People are terrible.
yeah, people
I
suck.
I don't want to get off on too far of a tangent here, but I have a really people suck story
Let's
that
hear
I
it.
experienced last weekend.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so it snowed in
Mm-hmm.
northern Indiana this past weekend. And so my kids think that when it snows, we get to go to the Y and swim. Why that's a
Oh,
thing, I don't know. But
yeah.
when it's cold out, we go to the Y and we swim. So we did that. And for whatever reason, our YMCA, or the YMCA we went to, they have a, hey, only so many people can be in the pool,
Sure.
right? And the Y we went to has two pools. They have a kiddie pool that's heated, and then they have a lap pool, for adults to get in there and swim and do laps and stuff. Well, the lap pool was shut down, so there's just the kiddie pool, right? and it's got like a little bitty splash pad thing in it, all this stuff. And we walk in, and the lifeguard lady comes over, and she's like, "Hey, so there's too many people in the pool. You're gonna have to sit and wait until somebody gets out of the pool." And I was like, okay, this is stupid, but okay,
Right.
that's fine. So, like, my wife and my 2 kids, we sit down next to the pool at a little bench, and I'm kind of just looking around. There are 25 people in this pool. 18 of them are over the age of 65.
In a kiddie pool?
Yeah, because the lap pool's closed.
Just enjoying the heat.
So they're in there like with their weights, and they're doing their weights in the water.
How big is this pool? How big is this pool?
A 25 by 25, like
not
that big, like a pretty, I don't know, like the size of a 2-car garage, maybe a little bigger than that, maybe
that's
maybe 40 by 25.
That's bigger than I was thinking.
Yeah, not super big, not as big as the lap pool. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, after like we got there and our kids are sitting here waiting to go in, like 2 other families walk in and their kids are sitting there. And here's these adults, like grown adults, just in this pool. And we sat there for like 20 minutes. And the whole time I'm just sitting there like, how has it not dawned on them that they should get out of the pool? And be like, hey, you know what? Like, hey, there's these kids, they want to swim. Like, let's get out so the kids can get in the freaking pool.
Right.
Right. And I just got so angry that like I was just like looking at my wife. She's looking at me and she's like, please God, don't let anybody come over and talk to him, because he's just gonna lose his mind. Right. And so one of the lifeguards actually goes over and tries to talk to like this group of 5 60-year-old people, and immediately they're just like, no, we're not getting out. We're allowed to be in here, like full 2021. Like they've got their laminated copy of the Constitution, like they're ready to go, right? And it's just like, God, like if we can just pile all these people like into a volcano, that'd be great,
right?
Yeah. And so eventually we get in the pool. Of course, as soon as we get in the pool, like this mom and like her barely a toddler come in, and the lifeguard's like, your toddler can get in, but you can't. And the lady's just looking at the lifeguard like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I can't let my toddler get in this pool without me. Are you an idiot? Like, it was like the perfect interaction. Like, I wish I would have videoed it, because she just looked at this lifeguard like, are you stupid? Like, should you be able to jump in water and save people? And so I just looked at my wife. I'm like, are you good? Okay. So I'm like, ma'am, I will get out of the pool. I will sit over here so you can get in the pool with your daughter. And I just looked over at all the old people and just kind of stared at them. And then they just kind of gave me this kind of look. Right. And I was just like, yeah, fuck all of you. I'm going to go drown every one of you. Yeah. It was just like this, God, people are terrible.
I know, man.
It's like nobody has any morals. Nobody has any, like, I don't get it. Like, everybody is so stuck up with themselves and only cares about themselves. Yeah. It's just absolute insanity.
I know. It's I didn't mean to like stir up some shit here at the start of this podcast, but I just was driving home and I just could not get that image out of my mind of just like, how is this still okay? How is this still okay?
But, yeah, I mean, having the Tesla is a very, very big trigger for some people.
Mm-hmm.
People do not like the electric car.
Yeah.
At all. I get a lot of like people like taking pictures of it, or people like giving me the bird. Kids in diesels going, but 17-year-old kids in diesels going by, rolling coal. It's like, okay, I mean, that's fine. Like,
sure, yeah.
I don't know what your problem is.
I know.
It's fine. Yeah, people suck, and apparently they can always suck more. There's no.
And now you're like a pretentious asshole,
right?
Because you drive that Tesla around.
Exactly.
You're looking down at everyone now that you're like this. There's a really good South Park episode that's about this. Have you seen that? Where they all get those hybrid cars? and they're all so they're driving these hybrid cars, and they just keep like thanks and like sticking their big thumb out the window. It's just it's so good. South Park, man, they're always like ahead of the curve with that shit. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Oh man, okay. So I've been playing a lot of video games. You've been playing a lot of video games. I'm thinking what might be kind of cool for this episode is we boomerang back and forth.
Okay.
So you start, just so you're not blabbing for like 40 minutes straight. You pick a game
Okay.
from your list, and then I'll go and pick a game from my list.
Okay. Boy, let's see here. Inscryption.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll both talk
Inscryption.
about that.
Yeah, we're both going to talk about that a little bit. So we streamed. I started Inscryption roughly a week ago. So Inscryption is I guess I would classify it as a card battler.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of like a card game because the person you're battling against really isn't playing by the same rule set as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got this card game in it, but there's a lot of other stuff going on in this game. So you're the whole game takes place kind of around this table, and you're kind of moving along this map. You're kind of moving a little like game piece almost like along this map, and there's different icons on the map to like level up cards and do all this different stuff. And the person you're playing against is this creepy dude, and all you ever see is his eyes. It's supposed to be kind of scary, which it is
Sometimes a
kind of
mask.
creepy. Yeah, he puts on different masks. He kind of plays different characters. But then there's this whole aspect of the game where you can stand up from the table and walk around this like creepy cabin you're in, and you're kind of being held hostage to play this game, this card game. And if you don't beat him, he kind of kills you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, man, I think I've put 4, 5, 6 hours into that game now. I think it was 6 when we finished the stream. I'm I the game is sort of alluding to if I can beat. I've beat 3 of the 4 bosses that that he kind of plays, and he kind of puts the mask on. And every boss has kind of a different mechanic within the card game. But I think I'm at the point now where once I beat those 4 bosses in one run, if you will, something crazy is going to happen, and maybe I'll get out of that room and go into another room or something weird. I think the game is going to do something when that happens. I haven't had it spoiled for me yet, but I've kind of heard the illusion that there's more to this game than maybe meets the eye. So,
okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. But the card game is pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a little grindy. What did we do? We did one whole run on stream, and I'd say it was right about an hour. Ish. We were kind of talking back and forth and kind of strategizing a little bit.
Yeah, and you were having to explain a lot of the mechanics. So
yeah, so the runs are kind of long. You only get so many lives, but you are kind of building a deck and modifying cards and doing all this different stuff. But it's got a really cool the atmosphere of it, and just the art, like the way the cards look, and like sometimes when you like upgrade cards, like he'll cut them up and like glue them back together, and then they look all weird. And some of the cards will talk to you. They're kind of characters. I don't know. That's a really weird game. It's a really hard game to like explain without like showing it to you.
Right.
Which is why I wanted you to sit in on that stream. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that and seeing what happens, like where it goes.
So I haven't really stopped thinking about that game. Like I really want to play it. So I know like we're tossing the idea back and forth to doing like a full playthrough. If we don't, I'm gonna buy that game and play it, because I think what you showed me at first, I was just like, well, it seems like it's like a Slay of the Spire or the Witcher card game, Gwent, or it's kind of reminiscent of a lot of those things that I play fairly often already. But it seems
Yeah.
like it's a really good one of those, and the whole aspect of it telling this crazy story seems worth it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
get through. It's creepy as heck. I really want to know
Yes.
what's happening in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
There's some things. There's a little bit of body horror in there, uh,
yeah.
which was kind of shocking to you, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to play. I haven't. I haven't quite decided if we should start over or just pick up from where I am. Um, because the things that are happening away from the table are interesting, but I feel like I could like blow you through that in 10 minutes. Like just be like walk around the room and be like, okay, here's what I did here, here's what I did here. Um,
Mm.
I did this to do that, and so on and so forth.
I wonder if I should just like watch a like a playthrough of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you could do that.
do I need to experience it? Or could I just pick up, like, see all the, I guess, the
I
puzzle?
think the problem would be it would probably take us like 2 or 3 streams to get to where I am now.
Yeah, I don't know if I
And
want to do that then.
I don't, yeah, and a lot of that's going to be the card game, which isn't going to be any different. Um, because you have to kind of play the game. There's things that has to happen in the game for you to progress out, like up from the table and around the room.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel like I
But
could walk you through it pretty quickly,
okay, yeah,
and
let's figure that out
yeah,
then. Let's
we'll figure that out. But
yeah.
I'm enjoying that game. I want to get back to that game. However, it is I do think I don't want to play it. I was honestly kind of getting burnt out on it a little bit, because I felt like I wasn't progressing, and like I felt like I
Hmm.
was bad at it and dying, and dying like on the second boss. And like when we got in there, I got pretty far. I got, I think, almost to the third boss, which is
Hmm.
as far as I had gotten. Um, and like us just sitting and talking about it was fun. Like being like, okay, what
Yeah.
should we do here? Like what would you do? Like, oh man, I wouldn't do that. It's like, oh, well, maybe I should. Maybe that makes sense.
Right.
Um, so that was pretty. That was a lot of fun. I
Are
liked streaming
like us trying to play that together? Are we gonna start like bitching at each other? You
it.
know, why did you fucking do that? I told you not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
That
I can
game
always
seems
just
really, really cool though, and
pull a tooth out or something.
I want to know where it goes because it's bizarre. So
It's going somewhere. It's if it doesn't go somewhere, that'd be a pretty big disappointment.
I got to see where
'Cause
that goes.
yeah, yeah. All right. What do you want to talk
I'll pick
about?
an easy one. I'll pick Wingspan. So oh man, Asmondi, I think that's how you say their name. Digital. They do a bunch of uh board games, right? And I love board games. I'm going to write about them in this month's newsletter. And the board game group that I play with on Saturdays or Sundays, we decided to stream Wingspan, which is this really fun it's a board game, and it's how it's set up is you have your own kind of blank canvas, and there's 3 different rows that are going like horizontal, and you're stacking birds on these rows. But depending on the color of the bird or like the symbol in the bird, you might only be able to put it in the middle row. You might only be able to put it in the top or the bottom row or whatever. And there's like a whole strategy around it. The only reason I wanted to bring this up is the fact that the board game itself is like $40 or $50, and the Steam
Hmm.
version I bought it for $11.
Oh
And
wow.
so, and Steam does this a lot. They'll have like these big major sales with all these board games. And I think if anyone's interested in trying to get into board games, they ought to look at the Steam versions of them because it's vastly cheaper. And this, it's if I don't know, if people are into birds, and they've done a lot of like the birds like have little animations, and you hear the birds like what the actual sound that this bird would make. And there's like
Hmm.
50 plus species of birds with this game, probably more than that even. And so it was like a really cool strategy card game we were playing. And I mean, just like playing through Steam, we were able to just sync right up and start playing it. I learned it in like 10 or 15 minutes. And it was just a really fun Sunday morning to sit down and play, remotely a board game. And there's most popular board games have a digital version of it. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And so I think we're going to start doing that. So there is a coffee shop we're going to start going to, but when we can't make it, I think like playing these games remotely, like there's still something there. Cause at first I was like, I don't know how this would work. Turns out it works
Right. Yeah.
great.
Huh.
So Wingspan is really, really fun. And it's something that I've wanted to buy for a while, but it's just like, it's like $50. I don't know. But I feel like, I feel like, I really want to play this game more. Like I would be perfectly happy to just continue to play the digital version. So like I bought a copy for my wife, and like me and her were wanting to start getting into board games a little more digitally. So yeah, and sometimes it's just hard to like, storing board games and stuff. Like I've got a shelf that's just like overflowing with board games over there. And
Yeah.
now just having like these digital versions like accessible, and they're actually really well made. It kind of surprised me with the production value of it. It's not going to blow your mind, but I felt like they did a little bit more than they actually needed to. Like it worked out really well. So, um, another card game I'm playing. So yeah, Wingspan. It's good. And I know I mentioned Asmondi Digital because they do a lot of those humble bundles. So they'll be like buy these 15 board games for $12 or something. I don't know if they did Wingspan, but I think I got it in one of those. I think I did. I got it in one of those bundles, and
Huh.
yeah, it's been really good. So that is it for that. Your
Okay.
turn.
All right. Um, did I talk about? Had I played Call of Duty Vanguard last episode?
It just came
I don't
out.
think so. I was like,
I think
that's
it came
right.
out.
That's right.
I think it came out Friday, and we haven't
Right.
podcast in
Right.
two
Right.
weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So yeah, because I told you on stream that
Yeah,
it was coming out like tomorrow, and you're like, no.
I
I'm like, yeah, no,
know.
I think it's coming out
I
tomorrow.
just
I had no intentions of buying that game.
I
Um.
I feel like I stay in the know of things,
Right.
but the
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
Call of Duty, Halo, and Battlefield has dropped within like a freaking week of each other. It's just like, man,
Bam. 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 Yep.
that's a lot.
Yep. Yep. So I had no intentions of playing this game. I did not ever touch the last game, which was Black Ops Cold War.
Mm,
I did play some of Modern Warfare, the previous one.
mhm.
Um, my cousin, who I play a lot of multiplayer games with, picked it up, and he's like, "You should pick this up. It's not terrible." I'm like,
Mm.
"Okay." So picked it up. I've been playing it quite a bit actually. Um, I don't know how many hours I have into it, but a decent amount. Uh, that's pretty good. The
Oh
multiplayer's
wow.
not bad. The multiplayer's pretty fun. It's World War II. Um, I think okay. So a lot of what I've seen about this game is people do not like it.
Mm.
Um, the kind of general consensus is kind of a down year. Um, one of the bigger issues that people seem to have is, it's World War II, so you have all these World War II era guns, and they have like 800 different attachments you can put on these guns. Like,
Oh.
I mean, there's probably 30, like an assault rifle, there's probably like 30 different optics you can put on it. As many barrels, as many magazines, as many, all this different stuff. And then then you have all these like purists, right? That are like, oh, the red dot 2.5 MX wasn't invented until 1975. That was after World War
Oh my
II.
gosh.
So like all these kind of like, of course, yes, they did not have all these freaking attachments on any, and maybe all these guns aren't period proper. I don't know.
Yep.
So that's been a big complaint. But there's some cool stuff in there. There's some different game modes. There's a game mode called Patrol, which is kind of like King of the Hill, where you have to get in and kind of control a point, but the point is constantly moving, like, and not like a crazy king where it like jumps from one place to another. It's moving, and so you kind of have to keep walking and stay in it. So it's always moving, and that's called Patrol. That's actually a pretty fun one because it'll just kind of move in and out of the map, like all over the place. That's a pretty fun game. The shooting is really good. The thing I like about the most about the multiplayer is the way the attachments work. So, like in previous games, like different attachments and barrels and magazines and stocks and grips and all that stuff would like change the way the gun fired. But I feel like in most of those, it was all kind of. It wasn't like presenting it to you like, oh, this is going to make this much better. It was usually just like a bar, right, that would go up or down. In this one, it's literally telling you, like, if you put this on, it's going to do +5 recoil, +1 accuracy, but take away damage and take like -3 damage and -1 bullet penetration. And so like you can grab like an assault rifle that has some kind of nasty default recoil, and if you unlock enough stuff, you can put enough stuff on it to make it like, pretty stable. And it just kind of changes the way you kind of play. And so like at the very beginning, I just worked with like the initial assault rifle and like got it all leveled up, and then was like, all right, I'm gonna move on to a different one. It was me like, oh god, I hate this new one. I just want to go back to the other one, but kept with it and unlocked some stuff. And I was like, oh shit, this is like a whole different thing now. Like this thing's awesome. And I think that's what like most people like about those games. Like you unlock a new gun, you go to that new gun, you're like, and then you get some attachments, and you're like, oh yeah, no, a badass now. The maps are all actually pretty good. There's some really annoying, like at the end of every match, they pick like 3 players to like be the MVP, and everybody has to vote. It's kind of annoying.
Oh, really?
I think they're just trying to hide like loading screens like in between matches, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the last game you'd sit and load forever. Or I guess it's 2 games ago. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I haven't touched the campaign. Just playing multiplayer, and it's Call of Duty Call of Duty.
Is there always a campaign? Because I know like Black Ops 4 didn't have a campaign or something like that.
Modern Warfare 2 games ago, Modern Warfare brought back a campaign. I don't know if Black Ops Cold War had a campaign or not. But this one does have one. Yes.
You think you'll play through it?
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Not right now. The Modern Warfare campaign was actually really good.
Was it like a reimagining of Modern Warfare, or?
Yeah, it was a prequel. You had Captain Price in it, and
all
those guys. Yeah. It was good. That was a good one.
Man, I have not kept up with my shooters.
Yeah.
I might actually jump into Battlefield or Halo. Actually, I think Halo might actually download.
Yeah, not much has changed in Call of Duty land.
Yeah.
At least in base multiplayer, they still have Warzone, which is its own thing. I don't know anything about that. That's
so when they release like Vanguard, did they come out with like a new Warzone map, or is it still just?
I think they do. And actually it's funny because when you load up Vanguard, it's got like 4 different options on the menu. It's got Vanguard, Warzone, Black Ops Cold War, and Modern Warfare. They're all on there, and it'll let you pick which one you want to play and like download. Like you can buy or download the other game, so it's like all one big menu.
That's kind of cool. I mean, if you're like super hardcore into
kind of Master Chief collection-y style, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So that's Call of Duty Vanguard. It's one of those again.
Yeah.
But World War II again.
Where are they going to go next?
Space.
Yeah.
Wait, they already did that. I don't know.
They did that, and not a lot of people liked it, right? So if they're going to try that again, they're going to have to get it right.
Yeah, people really liked it when they brought back Price and did Modern Warfare. So I wonder
Yeah.
if they'll do like Modern Warfare 2 or
Yeah,
whatever
maybe.
that is. Yeah.
Price and a tutu.
Yeah. Yep. There you
go. So I've played a little bit of that Guardians of the Galaxy game.
go. Okay.
I bought that on the Xbox One S.
Okay. Before you tell me what your thoughts are, I watched the quick look. No, I watched Nextlander play this. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. They played it for 30 or 40 minutes, kind of quick looky style.
Sure.
And well, actually, it's probably longer than that. But I immediately thought, God, Michael is gonna fucking love this video game because it is some Uncharted ass. Like,
But you say
even though
that.
you hate, but you hate Uncharted,
I know.
but it's got this Marvel thing going on.
Yeah.
Like it's real, like the jokes and like all the stuff. Like he's gonna love this shit. He's gonna eat this alive.
Yep.
So go.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. So it is one of those games. I'm playing it in front of my family, and I'm only I think we're 3 chapters into it, and there's like 16 chapters or something. So I will slowly be playing that for probably the rest of the year. I doubt I'll even get through it this year. Just depends on like what we end up doing like over winter break and stuff, but it's really good, man. It is a lot like Uncharted. It has those segments in it where you're just kind of like hunting around, you're picking up stuff along the way to power up Star-Lord. He's the only character you play as.
Right.
And you have like a weapons wheel of the other 4 characters that are in Guardians of the Galaxy, and you have like kind of control over them. They're fighting. I don't really know how
Kind of
much.
Mass Effect-y.
Yeah.
Kind of Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, so it's like when you select like Drax, he then has a weapons wheel. So you're kind of like
Yeah.
you're
Mass
holding.
Effect was.
Yeah, you're kind of like holding left or right bumper or left bumper or whatever, and then you select like, okay, he's on X, so you select X, and then it brings up another weapons wheel like, okay, what power do you want to use with Drax? And so there's a lot of like different customizations you can do there. You can level up the characters individually. There's a lot of choice, which is another thing of Mass Effect that I think that they're doing a pretty good job with so far. So there was an instance, this is a little spoiler, but there was an instance where there was like a chasm that we had to get over, and Drax just picked up Rocket and was just like, I'll just throw him over there. Like that's obviously the solution. And Rocket's just like, fucking get off me. This is crazy. So then they do the thing where they like look at you. And you gotta pick like, do you side with Drax? Does it make sense? Or do you side with Rocket? And so I actually chose Drax. And I was just like, throw that motherfucker. Like throw him across that chasm. And that happens, and then the dialogue that was happening, like, so it's like for fucking, it's like flargon.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like where we are putting some bloops and bleeps on our cuss words by using flargon and chonkin and whatever.
Yeah.
But like that whole dialogue sequence of him like getting pissed off at us because we just threw his ass over there was hilarious. But then it showed like Rocket, like my level with him like dropped. And so those choices are happening quite often, which is surprising me. And I don't know how much that actually influenced like how that game is going to play out. I'm not for games that I'm kind of playing, I try not to like look into like what other people's thoughts are, or like if I'm listening to Nextlander or something, they did a spoiler on Inscryption, so I love that they do the chapter select in their podcast, so I was just able to just skip along with that. But it's really fun. It's an Uncharted game. The combat is pretty challenging. And it's you have to actually really use a lot of your powers that you have access to. You cannot just run and gun through that game. I
Mhm.
mean, I've there
That's
are
that's good because I kind of got the impression that it was pretty easy from the stuff that I watched.
mm, no, I don't think so. I think it actually does kind of force you to like I can't just hold the trigger.
Oh,
It
okay.
does active reload. um but I can't just hold the trigger and just hope for the best. No, I'm using all of my skills that I can, and like I said, you're like leveling stuff up, you're finding loot, and you come across workbenches that Rocket will then like work on your stuff for with um like your money that you're collecting. I can't remember what they call it. But the story's really interesting too. So I think kudos to those who like Marvel are gonna really like this game. I think it's really well made. Um, it's way better than that Marvel Avengers game. So my son and I tried to play that, and he seemed like he was really into it, but he's never asked about it again. So
Mm,
this one's one that he's just like, from time to time he mentions it. I'm like, yes, I want to get through this game because I think, if it keeps like it is, like I'm really enjoying it, it could end up on like one of my favorite games this year. So, which is surprising me because my first impression of it was this seems like an Uncharted game. I don't know if I'm really gonna like this because it's like climbing and occasional shooting. But I
right.
think they do a really good job with kind of blending that stuff together. And the dialogue back and forth is really funny. It's very clever. And there's actually a lot of it. So sometimes you're walking along and people start talking at the same time and you miss it. And it's almost like maybe I rushed that scene or something. Maybe they thought I would just be walking in this segment where I just started, trying to move along. And so I started missing some dialogue, and yeah, it seems like it's really well written. I've laughed out loud multiple times. It's pretty good. So, um, and it doesn't run like complete shit. So that was
Yeah.
another thing where my intention was like, I'm gonna buy this on Steam and play it, and my 2060 will run this just fine. But then I showed it to my kids. I was just like, "Would you all like, want to watch Daddy play this, and we'll pass the controller back and forth?" And they were like, "Yes," like because they like Marvel. So I got it on that, and yeah, it's been working out.
I I think I heard that they launched cloud streaming on console,
Yes.
so you could do that too.
Well, that's for their Game Pass stuff, is it not?
Uh,
Or
you know what? You're right.
I was gonna
Yep.
say, like, if I could buy just stuff from like the Microsoft Store and stream it, that would be rad.
Is the Guardians on Game Pass or no?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Hmm.
60 bones for that one. Which
Boy.
it's hard, man, because there's so much stuff on Game Pass I want to play, but that one got me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yep.
but yeah, that is Guardians of the Galaxy. It's great. I'm enjoying my time with it.
Sweet. Yeah, I did. I noticed when I was watching that stream that the characters never stop talking.
No,
They just are always talking
and I feel like
constantly.
everyone, like, well, not everyone, but there's a lot of people who's like, I fucking hate how Star Lord looks. And my
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
she's awesome. She was just like, I really like the look of Star Lord. Star Lord. He looks like he looks like the comic book version of him, completely separating the fact that he doesn't look like
Right.
Chris Pratt at all. I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's cool. All right, yeah, that's enough of that. What do you got?
Um, I'm still playing Forza. Um, that game's still really good.
Yes, it is.
Um, I saw a TikTok of a person going like 400 miles an hour and clearing the river on the airport jump. Um, like two rivers. I don't know. They went really far.
Oh,
So I want to figure that out. That seems like it would be fun.
if you figure out something,
Um,
you're gonna have to stream that.
yeah. I'm sure they just upgraded a car all to hell.
Oh, sure.
Um, but man, that game's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. It's super pretty. It's just one of those games you can just kind of turn on and just play for
Hmm.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just be done. You know.
Right.
That's kind of nice. Like it's trying to, also playing Inscryption and Call of Duty. Those are kind of time commitments, especially Inscryption. Even though something to note about Inscryption, it will just save like mid run. You can come right back to it. It'll pick right
That
up
is
from where you
nice.
left
Okay.
off, which is pretty nice. Because when we started the stream on Inscryption, I was kind of mid the end of a run. So
Isn't that like a big complaint with Deathloop? The fact that you can't save mid run,
yep,
and a run of that game can
yep.
take hours at a time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's another game that's on my list to get back to eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But other than that, I don't have much more to say about Forza. I just put it on here because technically I've been playing it. But
Hey, I
um,
had fun watching you stream that. What was
yeah,
that, a couple Sundays ago?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
that was fun.
that's a good video game.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. What else do you have here? I want to hear about the Forgotten City
Okay. Forgotten City.
because I wanted to play this. I want to play
Hey,
this. It's been on my list.
you should absolutely play this game. The Forgotten City is a Skyrim mod, which I have been so far. I'm clean, Rich. I have not bought the anniversary edition.
You haven't bought it?
My gosh, I got so close a couple times, but I think the Kotaku review that was saying the actual fishing of it is pretty just okay.
Yeah.
Played a lot of good fishing games this year, so just hearing that that's okay, it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to play this, but we'll see. But anyway,
Not
the
as good
Forgotten
as
City,
Bassmasters 2022.
nothing. No, that's game of the year right now. Everything's there. That's like our Mount. I'm about to say Mount
I,
Rush.
I uploaded the archive for that to YouTube. I don't know if you noticed that. I made the thumbnail the picture of Ralph holding that stupid fish.
Good.
it's so it's so great. It's just so good. I could probably pull it up and put it over my camera. It's
Yeah, you should probably do
absolutely
that.
fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so I've never played like a time loop game. Or maybe I have.
No?
Like I did play a little bit of Outer Wilds when it first hit Game Pass. I guess it came out on Game Pass. Uh
Okay.
but I couldn't get into it. I was just like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it at the time. Even though I think that is apparently that, a lot of people think that's like the game of the year. So Forgotten City. Okay. You wake up, you have amnesia. It's one of those types of games. You meet this lady named Karen by this
Uh-oh.
yeah, and she pickpockets you. She's like, "You only had change on you, by the way."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, and there's this guy that went through this portal. I need you to go check this out." And you're just okay. So you go into this portal, and it's like ancient Roman times. And there's a guy
Okay.
that meets you, and he's just like, "How's it going? Like, welcome to this." There is, and man, I wish I would have took notes. There is the golden rule, Rich. That's what it is.
Mm.
There is a rule in this world that if you do anything wrong, then all of the citizens of this world turns into golden statues. So
Oh,
if
okay.
someone robs someone, commits murder, commits adultery, anything like that.
Is it like the Ten Commandments, or just what's the pretty loosey goosey with the rules?
They're kind of loosey goosey with it. It kind of like they just kind of outlined those four things. I think I can probably discover clues on like what's happening, but really you're trying to figure out. They kind of funnel you to the mayor, chancellor, or whatever this person is, and he's just like, I have a quest for you, which is very Skyrim like. So you're getting these quests, like these fetch quest style things. And he's like, you need to go talk to the doctor. There's something sketchy going on. And I feel like somebody's about to do this or like commit this act, and everyone's going to turn into golden statues again. So already out of the gate, you know that this is kind of happening like over and over and over. So I go to the doctor, and she's like, I'm working on this patient. But being a doctor in the 1400s, like you get a hangnail and they're like, I don't know, we should probably just cut your arm off. Like there's no
Yeah.
medicine, she's like, there's a like a some sort of potion that this person can drink, and you should go talk to the guy and see if he'll sell it to you. So I'm like, okay. So I go talk to this guy, and this guy's like a Martin Shkreli son of a bitch, you know. He's like, oh, I'll
Mm,
sell you this potion for like 1,000 gold, and you fucking Karen took all your gold, so I don't have anything.
right.
So you can steal it, but that's
Mm.
going to, you know, evoke the golden rule, and you know, everyone's going to turn to gold. So
Do
I
you have
did.
to get caught?
No, it just
Oh,
happens. Or maybe
okay.
somebody seen me and I didn't notice that.
Okay.
So I just grab for it and I break the law, and everyone just starts turning to golden statues. And it was very shocking at first. It was kind of like, I mean, like, you hear this like God style voice that's just like, oh, you motherfucker, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then what you have to do is you actually have to run back to the portal that you came in from.
Okay.
So I've got this fucking potion with me, and I'm running back. And like, there's these people, these golden statues that are like shooting arrows at me. So basically,
Mm.
they're trying to
Just
murder
take an
you
arrow to the
from,
knee.
yeah, right? There's a good joke there. Um, but they're trying to stop you from going back to this portal. And that fucking mayor, which I know in the 1400s they're not called a mayor. I don't remember what they're called, but
Chancellor.
the chancellor, yeah, he's also running there. And so I'm like,
Oh.
huh, that's interesting. So he does this thing. He calls back the portal. I jump in the portal. I go back, and the day starts anew. Go talk to that guy. He's just like, greetings, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to this crazy world. And you start unlocking these dialogue options where you can be like, yo, you said the same thing to me yesterday. And he's just like, ha, 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 what are you talking about?
Right.
I
Yeah.
had that potion with me.
Okay.
So then I was able to go straight to the doctor and be like, here's your potion. The person comes back. She starts talking to me. But it's just like this domino effect of there's all these little intricate stories that's happening, and you're starting to unravel them. Um,
Okay.
Really, the game is just you just poking at the world, talking to people, and trying to figure out like what is actually happening here. One of my quests is to find a bow. There's only one bow in the game, and every time I talk to the guy, no matter what dialogue choice I choose, he kills me. Well, he attempts to
Mm.
kill me. Attempted murder breaks the golden rule, so then I got to take off running. But they have like zip lines and stuff that you end up unlocking. So I know like at some point to beat the game, you're probably going to have to zip through and like connect all these dots in one run to then break the golden rule. There is a like a what's the word I'm thinking of, Rich? There's like a where they're voting a new chancellor in. And
Election.
yes, thank you. They're doing like an election, and you can kind of influence like I want this guy to actually win. So it's like you're kind of like
Mm.
playing with the citizens, and it's like this whole environment that you feel like you have control over. It's really cool. I will finish this game. It's but I can't get much into it, and I thought about streaming it, but it's like it doesn't really make sense to stream this because it's completely story heavy, and I already started it, and I don't want to go back and restart it or be like, okay, let me try to catch you up, because out of the gate there's already so much shit that has happened. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
but I watched that freaking Tom Cruise movie, and it's reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
because it's just like, you know, he keeps having that same conversation. It's like, oh, okay, I like it. Yeah, so that is The Forgotten City. That just hit Game Pass. That came out
Yep.
earlier this year. It was a Skyrim mod, and now they're making some money off of it, which I'm happy with them because it's good. It's really fun, and I think it's like how long to beat puts it at like 7 or 8 hours. So you could definitely get through it within a
Oh, okay.
week if you play it, chip at it, you know, an hour at a time. But it's good.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's on my list. I think I'd heard Nextlander talking about that one too.
Mm.
It sounded pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. That another time
Alrighty.
loop game. A lot of time loop games.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk about the time loop game that never ends?
What is that?
That's maybe infinite.
Nice. I like that. Yes. Yeah, I do want to hear about this actually.
Okay. So Halo Infinite multiplayer, just the multiplayer, which is free to play, was supposed to launch with the campaign on December 8th.
Mm.
But on Monday, November 15th, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
was the 20th anniversary of Xbox. So Microsoft did this little 30-minute live stream where they kind of showed like footage and like Phil Spencer talked and like just this little celebration of Xbox or whatever. And at the very end, they're like, "Oh, hey, we're just gonna launch Halo multiplayer right now. Like, just go play."
Wow.
There was like a little rumor right before. I think I had like hit you a message on Discord. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think this shit's gonna launch today, and it did. So I had been in both of the previews for
Mm-hmm.
Halo Infinite multiplayer, so I got to play it really early on, and then again like a month or two ago, and really liked what I played in both of those tests. Played once on my Xbox One, and the second test I was on my PC, and obviously now I've got it running on Steam of all things. It's kind of a weird thing to
It
think about,
is, yeah.
launching Halo on Steam.
That
And I
is
did that
strange.
because and like right from the get-go, people were having issues with the Xbox app on
Yep.
Windows. Like, so, which we've run into with Game Pass games
All year.
just about everyone we pick.
You know what didn't
Um,
mess up? Fucking
what's that?
Bassmasters.
Bassmasters. Yeah, well, it did crash
Oh, I
3
guess it
times
did.
when we tried to start the stream,
Damn
and
it.
none of its network connectivity worked. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Bassmasters. Anyway.
Oh man. But yeah, so Halo Infinite launched. It is out now. I think I looked yesterday and it was in the 3rd place on Steam.
Okay.
Just Steam. Um,
What's
so a lot of
first?
people playing that game. Counter Strike.
Okay. And then second
Always
is
Counter Strike.
yeah.
Dota. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
There's at any given moment there's almost a million people playing Counter Strike.
I don't hear anyone talking about Counter-Strike.
I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Every time I see that, I don't understand why, but it is a thing. Let's see. Right now there are 850 peak players today for Counter Strike Go, 815,000.
Wow.
Dota 2 620,000. Halo Infinite 256,000.
That's third.
New World is 188,000.
Mm.
Apex Legends 220.
Oh, okay.
And then it's Team Fortress, PUBG, Rust, GTA 5.
Team Fortress.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. How are these games
Yep.
still so
There are
popular?
85,000 people playing Team Fortress right now. Yep.
Wow.
Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, so Halo launched. It plays and feels a lot like that test. I mean, it's changed a little bit for sure. There's obviously a lot more maps. Right now, they don't have a ton of different. Like right now, you can't really filter down and play like a single game mode. They kind of have 2 hoppers they're shoving everybody in right now, which is like just normal 4v4 arena, but it has capture the flag, oddball, kind of a domination style game. And then they have a big team battle, which is all those things, but with more people. I think the biggest thing that everybody's been waiting for Halo, this game was supposed to launch last year. This time last year, it was supposed to launch, and obviously didn't because it obviously wasn't ready. And the last two, this will be the third release for 343, the internal Halo team for Microsoft. So this is the sixth, if you don't count ODST and Reach. This is the sixth mainline Halo game. You have Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Infinite. A lot of people really haven't liked. I don't want to say that. People haven't been hot on Halo for a while.
Right.
It's kind of taken a back seat to all these different. Now you have all these battle royales and Fortnites and PUBGs and all this stuff, and it's just kind of gone, kind of like Call of Duty has. Call of Duty just kind of, kind of going down a little bit. But I think most of the problem with Halo is just they tried to change those games. Like Halo 4 just wasn't any good. Like they made too many changes. It just wasn't what people consider to be Halo anymore. Halo 5 wasn't any good. Reach was okay, but it was kind of the step in that direction. But people were basically including myself saying like this is their last chance to get this right. Like if they don't get this right now, like they're never going to get it right. And I think they did, man. I think they did. This
Good.
feels like Halo. The multiplayer feels fun. Like all the jetpack crap is gone. All the way the weapons feels a lot more like Halo 3 and Reach even. It just all feels really good. It feels like Halo. Like I can just pick it up. Like I've played thousands of hours of Halo 3 over the last 2 years on Master Chief Collection, and like picking up this game, it feels like that just brought into modern times, which is I think what everybody wanted. Obviously, you're gonna have people that are just kind of stuck, just wanting to play that old game. Obviously, there's people playing Team Fortress 2.
Right.
But man, no, it feels good. They have a lot of new weapons. They have, obviously all new maps. The maps are fun. Just the gameplay feels like Halo. It's just good. It's just the battle pass is kind of weird. They have a battle pass. You don't unlock it through like XP. You have to complete challenges, and so you have to do certain things in order to unlock the battle pass. And I've seen a lot of people not crazy about that, and I'd have to sort of agree with that. So I think they're going to kind of walk that back pretty quickly.
Oh.
I think they were trying to do something different than every other battle pass.
Sure.
And I don't think it worked. It wasn't the right direction to go. But man, the gameplay is fun. It feels like Halo. It plays like Halo should play.
That grappling hook looks really cool.
That grappling hook has got some Breath of the Wild Zelda shit that you can do with that thing. I've seen people. I'm sure you've seen like TikToks and like YouTube videos of like people doing crazy shit.
Yeah, already.
The Wild with
Breath of the Wild, yes. Like, yeah. You'll see them like you'll see them like sling something, and then they'll just jump in and out of menus, just selecting a bunch of different stuff.
Yep.
And then just take down a Titan in one hit or something. It's wild.
Yep. I've seen some people like blowing up warthogs intentionally and shooting them into the air, and then grappling to that, and then flying way up in the air, and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, man, the grappling hook is pretty cool, but there's a lot of other cool weapons in there. There's a cool kind of Dead Space looking weapon that's pretty.
I remember
good.
that one.
Yeah, that's really good. But the pistol's good. The battle rifle's good. Snipers are good. Like,
wait, the battle rifle is good. Is that the gun that is just like never really good?
Oh no, that's the gun. No, that's the beloved.
I feel like there was always a gun that it's just like, man, you always just feel like you gotta try to get rid of it.
That's an assault rifle.
Oh, okay, the assault rifle. The battle rifle is the one with the scope, right?
Yeah, the 3-shot burst.
Oh, okay,
yeah. No, that gun feels really good. It just the whole like time to kill, the way it plays, it all just feels right. The way it should, at least in my opinion. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'll definitely be playing a lot of that. I'm interested to see what else they add, especially once they start filtering down the playlist a little bit. So far, man, it's really good. It runs really good on my computer. Um, that's a pretty cool thing. Because I don't have a Series X, obviously. Uh, no hiccups either. No hiccups on day one. No like server issues. So obviously those tests seem to work out pretty well.
Good.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about. Like it's a good Halo game, and that just means what it means, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not doing anything like mind blowing. It's just good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the shooting feels good. Like when we were playing through Destiny 2, you know, a lot of that game was very like bland and kind of almost borderline boring. But anytime we'd get in a
But
fight, both of
yeah.
us would be like, "Man, these fucking guns are great.
Right.
This game
Yeah.
is fucking good," you know. And
Yeah.
then we'd be running around in circles for 2 hours. Like
Right.
this game's kind of, meh.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. The shooting is really good, really good. That's it for me, man. That's all I've got.
Okay. Well, I have 3 games left. So, I will knock out a couple quick ones. There's one
Okay.
there's one I actually forgot to write on here. So my wife and I streamed some Unpacking. And that is a game that just hit Game Pass over the past like 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of people have like been really into it, and we do not like it. So it is a series of rooms with boxes, and you're just pulling stuff out of boxes and putting them in a place. And the game like has it gives you a lot of leadway, but you know, you can't put your toothpaste in your bed, or you can't put your skillet in your closet. Like it's just not going to allow that.
Is this a game that's like trying to appeal to people's OCD?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's like you'll have 6 hangers and you might have 8 shirts. So then you got to put some shirts in the drawer. Well, what if I put all the
That's a
shirts?
no-go.
What if I put all the shirts in a drawer and then
Then you're a monster.
and then I hang my jeans or something? You know what I mean? Like so those are I used to hang my jeans as a kid, and now
I
when
still do.
oh really? What?
Yeah, I still do.
No,
Yeah.
those sit on a shelf for me now. I don't have room in my closet for hanging jeans,
No.
man.
No. Got all kinds of room, man. Like, dude, I'm drinking LaCroix, man. You don't think I got room to hang my jeans up? What are you talking about? I drive a Tesla. Did I tell you I drive a Tesla? I drive a Tesla, by the way.
Thanks. But yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of so my daughter's been playing The Sims 4, and
Yeah.
I think I want to just stick her in front of Unpacking and be like, "Here, figure this out," and just see what she thinks. I think it would be something she would get into. I've heard like Will Smith, I think it was Will Smith. He set his daughter in front of it and she was like, she loved it.
So your wife didn't like it?
No. She gets the appeal of it, but
I was gonna say I feel like the appeal of that game. There's a cross section that intersects Stardew Valley there, like of like how to build your farm and like how to decorate the stuff and like.
But see, I
feel like there's a cross section there.
I think my wife gets less into that part of it. Like, I don't think she's hardcore decorating her house or like her Animal Crossing farm is more function over fam, So yeah, she didn't really care for it, and then I was like, well, I don't see me playing this game, but I think I'll keep it installed and see if like my daughter gets into it. That's really it for that. You're just putting stuff away in boxes, and it seems like it's just these little challenge rooms, and they get progressively more and more intricate. I think that we got to the 3rd one, and there was like 5 different rooms, and the person and it's telling a story. So I think it's like this one person's life. You see them as a kid, and then you see them enter college, and then you see them leave college and move in with, I'm pretty sure it's like a roommate, because the house is like got trash and stuff everywhere. And I don't know how far it goes. I don't know how many different rooms you end up having to unpack, but I think it's telling a pretty cool story. And you can see, they have the same stuffed animal that they're always pulling out of the box. So I mean, it's got cute little things like that in it. But
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
there's an audience there for that. I don't think it's for me.
Okay.
Um, Final Fantasy V finally launched. I've been enjoying that. Probably 6 or 7 hours into it. I think my character's around level 20. There's 3 major sections in that game, and think I'm almost done with that first one. Seems like it's going to be a little longer. It's actually a little more challenging. I'm having to be a little more creative with how I tackle some of the bosses in this game.
Hmm.
So that's been
Okay.
pretty fun.
Is this the last one, or is there one more?
There'll be one more. So 6 will come out
One more.
hopefully this year. So the Steam page used to say coming in 2021, and now it says coming soon. So I have no idea when this game is going to come out. Their target was all 6 games by the end of this year,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I often have said Final Fantasy V is my favorite one of the Pixel series. I don't know if that holds true. I need to get through all 6 of them, and then I'll kind of weigh that out. But yeah, that's been pretty fun. And then last on my list, Rich, is Yakuza Like a Dragon. I finished it.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I played 65 hours of that game.
Holy cow! Wow. That's a lot
I
of golf.
I did a lot of, so no golfing, there's kart racing in that game.
Of course.
There is, I think it has mahjong. I did there. So they have side missions in these games, and they call them sub stories. I probably completed 30 plus sub stories. I think the Yakuza I spent the most time in was Yakuza 0, and I probably spent about 25 hours. So playing 60 something hours of this game was kind of a commitment.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a good fucking game. Oh my
Mm.
gosh. I loved it. I know I've talked about it enough, so I don't need to reiterate, but that's a really good game, really fun RPG, really funny. I love the callbacks to the like original series. I will not get into any of that, because if you're a fan and you haven't started this game yet, I want you to enjoy that yourself. But man, it was just really fun. But again, it does the thing where there's some boss fights towards the end of that game that are just real fuckers, And it was
Yeah.
it really like takes the wind out when I died on this same boss like 4 or 5 times. But it was really, really fun game. I had a great time with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's definitely on my list of favorite games this year. So there's been a lot of good games, Rich.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot of good games.
Yeah.
I can't wait to start like assembling that list.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it for me. Gosh, how long have we been going here? So we're an hour
An
and
hour and 12.
do we want to talk about some TV stuff? You've got
One more thing here. One more thing.
oh,
Did you watch any of the Elden Ring stuff?
no.
No. I think I might be interested in that game.
Okay.
I I've never played a Souls from software game. Dark Souls, Demon
You
Souls,
didn't try
whatever they
Bloodborne?
are. You know what? We did.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to play that. You told me I should try to play that, and I couldn't get past the first room.
Yeah.
Um, I think that was like right when I got my PlayStation 4.
Okay.
But no, never played those games. But that game looks interesting in a weird way. Uh,
It's open world, right?
it is. It's very open world. Very Breath of the Wild looking
Oh,
open
wow.
world, actually. I don't know. There's just something about that. Those games have always just been kind of like, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at this one, it's like, I might want to give that a shot.
Yeah.
So that I'm kind of leaving that on my radar. That comes out in February, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I was just
I've
curious
heard a
if
lot of good
you'd
things of
seen
like
anything about it.
Sekiro. I've heard that that's like a really
Yeah,
good game. A lot of people were really fond of that last year. So, and then
yeah.
what was that one from not Insomniac, or was it Insomniac? Didn't they come out with like their own kind of style game like that? Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but um it wasn't so hardcore like Bloodborne, but it was kind of the same combat style.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of. So,
that one was pretty popular too. I
yeah.
haven't played that either. I think that's on PC.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I haven't played that either.
Okay.
But no, we
Well,
can talk about TV.
all right. I mean, I've been watching the same stuff. I've been watching Miss Maisel and What We Do in the Shadows. Both are hilarious. I've been loving those lately. The Wheel of Time starts Friday. Pretty excited.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Now, did you read any of those?
No.
No. Are you
I
gonna watch the show?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the show.
Okay. I
Dude,
was.
it's 14 fucking books, man. Like, and I'm having a hell of a time just getting through freaking Brandon Sanderson's big book. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I walked in on into one of my people at work, their cube, and everybody's got headphones in now, ear AirPods or little
Mm-hmm.
earphones or whatever. And I walked in, and so every time you walk into somebody's like office, you got to like tap on their desk, So I kind of
Yeah.
walked in and tapped on his desk. And he kind of looks back at me, and yeah, he did kind of startle. And I was like, hey, got to talk to you about this thing. And he's like, hey, can you leave and come back in like an hour? And I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm like literally finishing the last Wheel of Time book, like right now. Like, can you just leave? I'm like, like, I know what that is. Like, you're 14 books into this thing. I'll be back in an hour. You
Wow,
go ahead and
that's
finish
awesome
this.
of you.
So because I was like, oh, because he's like, yeah, it's literally finishing now. Like, I have 30 minutes left in this audiobook. And I was like, oh, so everybody's just dying. Like, it's just total chaos. And he's like, yeah, I mean, basically, yes.
Mm.
So I just left and came back. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
did. I saw like an ad for it for Friday, and I was like, shit, yeah, I want to watch that. And I'm like, oh man, do I want to read the books
I
though? I don't.
know. So
Maybe the
I
first one.
so I did download it. I did have it. I think I rented it from the library, and I got like 2 or 3 chapters into it, but I was just like also still reading fucking Oathbringer, and I'm just like, this is stupid. No, I can't do this. So I'll let
Yeah.
it lapse. So I might understand what's happening in the first episode, but anything after that, I'm not gonna understand. So,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, that's really all I've been watching. You know what? I kind of want to watch that Arcane show.
Arcane.
Yeah, the show on Netflix, the new anime that is based on a very popular MOBA.
Oh, League of Legends. That thing.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of
I saw something about a Blade Runner anime
What?
the other day. That just came out.
Oh, it's out?
Um,
Shit.
something,
See,
man.
I
I don't
still gotta
know.
watch
I saw it
Dune
and it looked
and
pretty cool.
The Witcher because I have not got around to that. And
Dang.
I've heard a lot of people are just like, "Yo, anime fan or not, check out Arcane." Like the animation is really good and it's telling like a really cool story. So I might check that out.
Yeah, Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Wait, maybe I've seen like a box art of that.
Yeah. Let's see. Co-production between Crunchyroll and Adult Swim.
Oh, Adult Swim.
Yep. Yep.
God, Adult Swim was a lot of my
It's
teenage
got
years, man.
it's got Josh Duhamel in it.
Hmm.
Oh, it's got the guy from Yellowstone. It's got quite a few big names doing the voices
Is it
here.
an
I
it's an
actually know
anime.
some of these people.
Is it an anime?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I actually know some of these people's faces.
Oh, and
Wow.
as I'm reading Oathbringer and a bunch of other stuff, we probably should have said at the beginning. We're gonna cover Volume 3 of Sandman next episode. Neither of us got
Yeah.
around to finishing that. I have it, but I'm 2 issues into it. So we will cover that next episode. Probably should have led with that, but I'll make sure I put that in the show notes so people aren't expecting that. But I did start reading this crazy book because we've been talking a lot about fishing. There was this book recommended to me called The Fisherman, and the first couple chapters are just like guy loses wife, meets a guy that lost his family. They're gonna go fishing together, and then it turns into a fucking horror book. I'm at that point where it like snaps and it just completely changes. And
Oh, no.
I know, so like I'm like super excited to get through this. It's a short book, but yeah, I want to really get into that book. So, what is the Curse of Oak Island? What is that? Is this a joke?
So,
What is
yeah,
this? It's a joke.
yeah, no,
Okay.
it's okay. It's on the History Channel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So this is what I will call a dad TV show. Like, this is a TV show. I don't know your dad. Your dad watches this TV show.
Okay.
Okay, my dad watches this TV show. This is one of those shows where so there is this kind of ancient like folklore about this island in Nova Scotia, which is in Canada.
Right.
That like the Ark of the Covenant's there, the Shakespeare's plays are there, there's this treasure buried there. There's all this stuff that's like happening around there. And people have like there's like this rumor that people found like gold buried like 100 feet deep on this island. And all these people have tried to dig it up. And these two brothers from Traverse City, Michigan, decided this show's been on for years, like probably 5, 6, 7 years at this point. They're basically trying to find it. They're trying to dig it up and find it, and do all this stuff. And it's just one of those shows where nothing ever actually happens. Like they're drilling all these holes and they're doing all these things, and like they find like some pottery. Some like old clay pottery with like the blue dye on it. And the whole time it's got like this narrator, like voiceover guy. And like it's hilarious. Like every time they pull something up or they find something, he'll be like, pottery from the 14th century of French. Could it be this? Could it mean the aliens landed on Oak Island? Could it be that like, and just like completely jumping like 16 steps ahead of like, does this mean the Knights Templar were here?
Is it doing that as a joke?
No, it's totally serious.
Oh,
totally serious,
man.
But then like interspersed, because it's on the History Channel, like interspersed within this thing, it's like actual like good bits of history. So like they'll like go through and like talk about like certain historical things, and that's what I like. I also like watching idiots drill big holes and do really stupid shit. It's kind of like that show Gold Rush. I'm sure your dad watches Gold Rush.
Maybe.
Where they're just digging for gold. But it's just one of those. It's just one of those. Like, I don't even know what you would call it. Like, it's not really a docuseries. It's more like a drama. I don't even know what you would call that.
When are you watching this?
When?
Is this a multitasking show? Like, are you playing Halo and watching this, or are you like laser focused on this?
No, I'm watching it.
Wow,
I'm watching it. Yep, it's.
Are you a lay in bed and watch TV before you fall asleep? Okay.
No, I'll sit in my recliner. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So like when we get done, like when I get done playing at night or we get done streaming, I'll go there, sit there for like an hour, and then I'm off to bed.
Watch your fucking Gold Rush or Curse of Oak Island or whatever.
Watch my Curse of Oak. I mean, I haven't watched this show in like forever, and I just started watching it again. It's really stupid.
Do you have
one of those?
Are you a TV in the bedroom?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. No TV in the bedroom.
Do you play on your phone, or are you pretty strict on just going straight to sleep?
I used to be. That's something else I wanted to talk about this episode, but we probably don't have time. What time is it? 10. What are your feelings on the Apple Watch?
Um.
I've had one for over a year now. I know you've had one for
Mhm.
off and on for a while.
Okay, I have thoughts. Um, I like mine a lot less now that I work with a company that is on Microsoft 365, and having my phone in their ecosystem, it requires me to put a 4-digit code to unlock my watch when I want to use it.
What do you mean?
Oh, I can't just turn my wrist and look at stuff. I have to enter. You can't see it because I
Really?
can't bend my.
Every time you turn it, you have to
Not
put the
not
thing
every
in?
time, but see there,
Yeah.
it wants a 4-digit code. So
See,
it's
mine will do that if I take it off and put it back on.
no. Mine is because of it has to have it's like extra security. And I can't.
Okay.
I've almost thought to associate my watch with my wife's phone because I can do that.
Right.
And that might be able to get me around it, but I haven't done that yet. But
Mm.
I use it. I like the rings. It motivates me to want to close my rings. But literally anything else with it, I use my phone. I'm so conditioned to just even like my watch face like shows the weather. I just grab my
Yep.
phone. I don't I
Yep.
haven't broke that habit. So getting like easy notifications, if you sent me a text right now, I'd have to, hit my 4 digits and then click it. And it's just like I could just grab my phone. Like
Right.
unlock it with my face and there we go. So like because it's been locked for so long, I just unlocked it and I have 10 notifications.
Wow.
Most of them are people doing activity things,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
I like that because that's kind of cool and I would like to encourage my friends to work out. But then that can also get kind of annoying. So,
Yeah. 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 Why did I think of this? What
I
happened
don't
that
know.
made me think of this? Oh, you asked me about the phone in bed. Um yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day because I've kind of started my winter training for cycling this week. Um I don't know. I've had one for a year, and like all the like health stuff and like the sports stuff that it does, I feel like is almost useless. Like the like it records your heart rate, it does all this stuff, but like gives you no like actionable data. Like you can go like look at it in the health app, but it's just like in there. Like it's not like coaching you on anything, right? Like it'll
Right.
vibrate and be like, "Hey, you need to walk a little more. Hey, if you burn a little more calories today, you'll close this ring." But it I think compared to the Whoop strap that I had before, which was like a fitness band, like that thing would be like, "Yo, if we know what you got to do tomorrow for like your workout, you need to go to fucking bed. Like if you
Mm.
want to be recovered for tomorrow, you need to go to bed now. And here's this." And then part of the reason I brought up the phone in bed thing, it would every morning I would wake up and you would have to say like answer this survey like on the Whoop app on your phone, and it would be like, did you drink alcohol last night? Yes or no? Yes. How many drinks? 2.
Damn.
Did you watch your phone? Yes. Like before bed? Yes. How many minutes? This, because all that has an effect on your sleep.
Right.
Um, it had really good sleep tracking, but it like gave you actionable, like it was coaching you, it was giving you actionable things on your data, and like looking at all these things and being like, like if I wake up and like my recovery score would be tanking, it'd be like, am I getting sick? Did I not sleep good? Like, why is that? And I feel like the Apple Watch is just recording it all and just dumping into that app. And
Yeah.
like, I never
How
open that
I was
app.
about that's about was because I never go to my health app.
Yep.
Like it's
Yep.
got years of data on me,
Yep.
but why?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a reason.
Yep.
I mean, fucking had an accident and it did
Mhm.
nothing. You know
It
what I
didn't go
mean?
off. Yeah. I mean,
No.
yeah, I've had like weird like heart things in the past where I've had like SVT or like little bouts of like tachycardia where my heart rate will go bananas for like 10 or 15 seconds. It does nothing. Like it
Right.
has no bearing on any of it. Actually, half of the time it won't read my heart rate because it's under 50 beats a minute. Yeah, it won't even read it. It's just like, nope, too low.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet I could do it right now and it won't read it. Um but yeah, it just got me thinking about that the other day where um I don't know. I was kind of thinking about switching back to the loop strap, but then there's things that I like about it. I like when I drive. I have to drive sometimes for work, and like if I drive somewhere where I don't really know where I'm going, and I don't really want my phone in my hand, like it'll put the navigation and like vibrate like on
Mm-hmm.
my wrist, like hey, you need
Yes.
to turn soon. Like that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And like some of the notifications are nice. Um, I don't know though. Maybe I don't know. It just got me thinking about it. It's like, man, I really liked it when I got it, and now I'm not so sure that I wouldn't swap it out.
Like, I think I'm just getting so used to wearing it, but am I getting value out of it? No, I don't think so.
That's the thing. Yeah, I feel like I would get more value out of something else. Yeah,
Right. Or
yeah.
nothing. Or do I even need
Or
it? You know?
man, I like to have a watch on, whether it be a mechanical one or
Well,
a
sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I do like that. So now that I've unlocked it, like, it'll probably stay unlocked for like an hour.
Mm,
But then at some point, it's going to ask me to type that in again. And that just isn't, I don't know. It's just annoying. It's seconds of my life, whatever. But
right.
still,
Yeah. That
I want to
that
be
is
able
kind of
to
an
like get a text
inconvenience.
message and just be able to read it. But I can't. I can't. I have to
Right.
interact with my watch. Why
Yeah.
do that? That's kind of where I'm at.
All right.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
You don't want to talk about the stuff, or are we good?
What stuff?
So all the OBS stuff that happened today, because you were following that a lot more than I was, so I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that real quick.
Okay.
So OBS, Open Broadcast Studio,
Mm-hmm.
is a open source software. It's free. It's what we use to record this podcast. We are literally using it right now.
Yeah.
It is basically software where you can pipe in video, pipe in audio, pipe in gameplay from games, pipe in like alerts and all that stuff, and then hit a button and it'll stream to Twitch. It'll record onto your hard drive and you can upload to YouTube.
It's
It's what
great.
that's for.
Yeah.
It's for doing broadcasting. Um, Streamlabs, I don't know how long ago, how many years ago it was. They basically made their own version of it and called it Streamlabs OBS. Um, and it is also somewhat open source, but built on a little bit of a different platform. Um, and there was some Twitter beef today uh, because another company called Lightstream, they they provide a service for people with consoles. So we when we're streaming, we're playing on PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have OBS running as an app on a computer, and it's all happening right here on this our gaming computers. But if you're on a console, you're kind of limited. So Lightstream is a company that has this software that gives streamers on consoles more options and more stuff for alerts and kind of makes it more of a PC experience. Streamlabs just this week kind of launched an extremely similar product, right? Um, of doing stuff on console streams, and as a part of this, they launched like a website, like a marketing website, right? And Streamlabs did. So Streamlabs has OBS, and I think they were calling this Streamlabs. What the hell were they calling it? I can't even remember. Uh, let's see here. What do they say? They don't even say the name of the thing. Anyway, so they put this marketing website up, and Immediately, Twitter is on top of it. The Lightstream Twitter account retweets a picture of the Lightstream website next to the Streamlabs website of this new product. These two very similar products. They are literally the same.
They are carbon copies of each other.
All of the titles for the sections say the same words.
Yeah.
They're laid out
even
in the
their
same
heading,
chronological order. The heading is the same.
The
images are very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, actually Lightstreams is actually better.
Right.
And so Streamlabs just launched it this week. So they just straight up copied this thing. And so Lightstream literally just puts this out on Twitter and it's like, yo, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, they did the thing. It was like, here's my homework, just change it a little.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And people were like, what the fuck? Like, who thought this was a good idea? And so then that turned into, so this was Lightstream that had the beef. And then that turned into the OBS Twitter account being like, yeah, these Streamlabs people suck. We basically went to them and was like, hey, you know, we get it. You're making a competitor with Streamlabs OBS. Can you please not call it OBS? Because we're trying to do a open source thing over here. And, you know, they were like, yeah, no problem. And then they immediately used it and then patented it.
Wow.
Or put in a copyright for it. And so there's all this stuff, all this Twitter beef of people just shitting all over this company.
Well, the thing is
like Elgato got in on it.
Oh, really?
Because Streamlabs has a like Stream Deck equivalent that's like a web interface, and they just totally ripped that off.
Gosh.
Yeah, so OBS put up a tweet that says, near the launch of Slobs, which is Streamlabs OBS, Streamlabs reached out to us about using the OBS name. We kindly asked them not to. They did so anyway and followed up by filing a trademark. We've tried to sort this out in private, and they have been uncooperative at every turn.
So I mean, I love their reaction to them calling them out on their website was just like, oh, we realized that the heading text was like demo text, and we accidentally hit publish.
It's placeholder.
Not even the fact that
horseshit.
All their fucking divs probably have the same name, you know?
That's like absolute horseshit.
Oh, it was completely dumb.
Yeah, man. Like I built a lot of websites, okay? Like I have thought about website and UX design a lot. Nobody put any thought into that.
No.
They went straight to that fucking website. They did a Google search, they found a competitor, literally copied that shit.
Yeah.
That does not happen on accident.
No.
Absolutely not. No way. Not word for word. Like whoever did that should be fired.
Yeah,
immediately.
Absolutely.
And then so this happened like early today, and right before we hopped on, Streamlabs announced that they have now dropped OBS from their name, so it's just called Streamlabs now, because somehow that's just going to make everything go away. It's just one of these like weird Twitter like it's like one day you just wake up and just something gets posted on Twitter and just everything just changes, you know, like
right.
This has been this way forever. Like I remember we used Streamlabs for alerts.
Yeah.
And I remember I told you, oh, this is Streamlabs OBS. And you're like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's also OBS? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's totally stupid. This was months ago. And like the OBS Twitter account, like actual OBS, they're like, we're often faced with confused users and even companies who do not understand the difference between our two apps. You know, support volunteers are sometimes met with angry users demanding refunds when we don't even charge anything for OBS.
Right. Demanding refunds. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, these people are just making this difficult, you know? Yeah, it's hilarious. And then the big thing is like Pokimane, who is a Streamlabs promoter. She's on like their website. She basically retweeted like, hey, you guys need to fix this shit or I'm done.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Like
publicly.
My shit out of here.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, nope. And then a bunch of other people did. So I think that's what kind of preempted this. But it's just like one of those Twitter battles where somebody woke up and decided to like
Yeah.
right click developer mode on Lightstream's website,
Yeah.
just
Right.
Control A, Control C, Control V,
Yeah.
and then Control Find Replace Lightstream for Streamlabs, and just there
Yeah.
we go. Hey guys, I built a website. I'll take my $50 an hour now.
So from the
Uh,
chat, they said, "Do you think once this initial shitstorm blows over, everyone forget about this?" Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the talk of the town right now. But look at what's going on at Blizzard. Like
oh
that
man,
is going to have some legs on that for a while.
yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
going to remember this after a week from now, you know? Like Streamlabs is big enough that they'll get through this, but yeah,
yeah.
it was just
It was
hilarious.
just
That picture you sent me of that side by side was just that was
yeah. I don't know if
wild.
I could. Yeah, I don't know if I could get it up on the stream over my camera or not. But it is chef's kiss
Yeah.
worthy. Let's see
Oh
here.
yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. So
It is
let's
a
see.
beat for beat. It's the same thing. Level up your
So loading.
Xbox and PlayStation streams. Level up your console streams. Oh,
Gotta
Rich, it's
resize this
completely
a little.
different. They use rounded corners. It's fine.
Oh, yep. They put a little WebKit in there. Yeah, I mean, just like, how does it work? How does it work? Uh, Cloud capture for your console streams. Cloud capture for your console streams. Full layout and design control. Full layout and design control. All you need is your console. Go live in minutes from your console. Remote control from your couch. Remote control from your couch. Even I mean, this is insanity. Like, I,
Oh, what a
just the web designer in me is just like, yeah,
what a bunch of fucking goobers, man.
not even trying, just lazy.
Yeah, hey, can I
This is
copy your homework?
this is Moonglow Bay levels of fucking. We can't think of a name. Let's
Yeah.
put it in the Stardew Valley generator and come up with a name for our
Oh,
video game.
you love shitting
Uh,
on that name, Moonglow Bay.
it's because it's such a blatant ripoff of
It
Stardew
is.
Valley.
It is.
Like,
You're right.
I mean, beat for beat, it's lazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
The guy worked for like 8 years to make Stardew Valley, and you're just gonna shit on his game? Come on, Moonglow
Hey, I'll
Bay.
defend. I'll defend Stardew any chance I get. But
Yeah, for sure,
all right,
for
we
sure.
gotta wrap this up.
All right.
It's getting late. Thank you all so much for listening, for streaming, for watching. If you want to send us an email, you can send that to emails@bitpunch.tech. You can check out all of these links on our website at bitpunch.tech. Oh, hold on. Alarm's going off. Thanks for watching here. That is we stream to Twitch every so often. You can find that at BitPunch. You can follow us on Twitter at BitPunch. We archive most of our stuff to our YouTube at /user/BitPunch. And then we do a monthly newsletter at bitpunch.substack.com. You can find all of those links on our main website at bitpunch.tech, where you can find our podcast. What a show.
What a show.
That was a long one. A lot of video games. It's not going to slow down either. I got a lot to get through
No.
before the end of the year, so and I think we're still trying to figure out how we're going to cover this. So we'll talk about that once we get that figured out. But yeah, a lot of good games. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening and for watching. We will be back in a few weeks. Have a good night.
Bye.